This is it. I got to go. The Klavanless weekend is upon us. I got to end with stuff I like. I'll go a little bit long here. Stuff I like. I've been talking about politically incorrect masterpieces. I just have to mention this. A Toronto guy, there was a place in a Toronto park, okay, a community park that had a steep slope, and people were falling down and hurting themselves. So the city said, well, we've got to build stairs, on the so they gave in an estimate for how much it was going to cost, $65,000. Or to $150,000. That was how much they were going to charge. The government was going to charge to buy stairs. So a guy goes out and he gets a couple of homeless people to help him, and he builds them for $550. Okay, they were estimating $65,000 to $150,000. He gets it in for $550. What do you think the government said? They said, "Oh, we're going to have to tear this down. This doesn't meet our safety standards. It doesn't meet our safety standards. We forget the graft." So I want to end. There's all this stuff on the left about cultural appropriation, and I believe that cultural appropriation is one of the greatest things about the West. Come on over, add your brilliant cultural stuff, leave your bad cultural stuff behind, leave behind your drug lords, leave behind your tyrants, leave all that stuff behind, bring the food, bring the music, bring the ideas. We love it. And okay, so some of the greatest, as you know, I love the great American music of the 30s and 40s and 50s, and so much of that was white people and black people kind of getting together and learning from each other. Black people learning from white American music, white people learning from black American music, and it made some of the greatest songs ever. Louis Jordan was a genius. He was called the king of the jukeboxes for about 20 years. He was just a big sensation. Nowadays, nobody listens to him, but his stuff is great. And I wanted to end and go into the Klavanless weekend with this, because these are the great words of advice to the government. You run your mouth, and I'll run my business. I'm Andrew Klavan. This is the Andrew Klavan Show. The Klavanless weekend begins. Survivors meet here on Monday.
You cats keep beating up your chops, I ought to turn you over to the cops. But dig this spiel I'm gonna lay on your gate. Don't cop your broom, park the body and wait. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You tell everybody I'm busted. You talk so much you got me disgusted. But you run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You start in telling me you're my pal and end up telling me how to handle my gal. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. You run your juicy mouth and I run my business, brother. Just run your juicy mouth and I run my business, brother. You always telling me what to do, saying I wouldn't do that if I was you. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother. Just clap your liver lips and I run my business, brother. Clap your liver lips and I run my business, brother. If I'd followed your advice on how to make dough, I'd been in the jailhouse long ago. You run your mouth and I run my business, brother.